just have blown Liverpool right out of the title picture.
Hi guys, it's Ian here from the Red and Blue Review again. Welcome to Getting to Know You. This is a show where we get to understand and interview people about their relationship with the club. And I'm grateful to say that we have got the fantastic Nick Philpott with us. Hi Nick, how's it going?
Hi Ian, good. Thank you for having me on, mate. I'm absolutely fine. Currently in lockdown, of course, but I'm still working, as you know. But no, apart from that, I'm doing absolutely fine. Thank you.
Well, it's good to see you looking so well. It's good to see you looking so well. Right, okay. So as you know, the whole point of this is to actually understand how your relationship is with Palace and trying to get a better feel for how you become a Palace fan. So I guess the best place to start is why Crystal Palace?
That's fairly easy, really. I am a Purley born and bred person. I was in the area. All the people I went to school with in those days, it was either Liverpool or Chelsea or Man United, and I was having none of it. There's only a couple of us. A friend of mine called Lee Moody, who sadly I no longer see. But he said to me one day, he said, and I think we were probably in the fourth year of secondary school. I'm going out to a Palace game tonight. Do you fancy coming? No, it's on Saturday. Do you fancy coming? I said, yeah, come on then. That's something different. I've never been to a football game before. Okay, and I was 13, 14, something like that. And it was Sellers Park. Okay, it opened my eyes, and I've never looked back. But the trouble is, because obviously, as you often allude to on the show, I'm the elder statesman of the team, of the group, of the Red and Blue Review family. It wasn't just 20 years ago or even 30 years ago. We're talking about 40 years ago. So my relationship, my love of the club stretches back best part of 40 years. Okay,
well, thanks. I mean, because that did cover off. I was thinking, wow, that must have been quite a while back, but you've obviously said that. So following on from that then, so what was your first match? Can you remember the first match you went to?
I was asked this once before when I was working for another radio show, and I do remember. I don't remember what the score was. I don't even remember what division it was. But I think we were probably first or second division at the time, the old first or second division. But I do remember the game, and there's a couple of things that really stood out in my mind, and it was Palace versus Stoke City at home. For some reason, I was in the Arthur Way. I don't know why. And I was frightened out of my life. And I'll tell you, it was in the bad days of severe football violence. Okay, not the handbags that we see down at Palace Brighton now, the severe football violence. And there were some Stoke fans, and this is what sticks in my mind, in the Homesdale to my left. Okay, and I'm looking over from the Arthur to my left to the Homesdale road end. Okay, I'm watching these blokes with all long, shaggy 1970s. Led Zeppelin or Mud or Sweet hairstyles in dungarees, in their red and blue. So they've got their red and white Stoke City football tops on.
I think I've just drifted to the twilight zone here. Carry on, dungarees.
They're wearing dungarees, running down the Homesdale, trying to get some Palace fans. Okay, but I was petrified, absolutely petrified of what was going on. Are they going to jump over the fence? Are they going to become? I mean, I don't believe in those days the away fans were in the bottom corner of the Homesdale in the cheese wedge that Jill calls it. But for some reason, there was Stoke City fans in the Palace end, okay, trying to get at the Palace fans, and I was petrified. And for some reason, that stayed with me ever since. I've no idea what the result was. I've no idea what was going on in the game. Really, I was just more fascinated with the crowd. The environment, the atmosphere is just fantastic to watch.
It got you by the short and curlies.
Well, and I've never looked back since. The trouble is I've been here.
Well, at least it wasn't someone in dungarees that managed to get you by the short and curlies. That's the main thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So following on from that then, I mean, clearly that's a memorable moment, but what would you say is your most memorable moment as a fan during the time you've been supporting?
It probably goes alongside with my favourite game as well, I have to say. There is. I've got thousands of highlights and stuff that I've alluded to on the show many times, but there is one game, and there is actually one instance after the game that really has stuck in my mind as a football fan all these years. There's a couple, and it's actually both in the same game. So we're talking about FA Cup semi-final, shown on telly very recently, Crystal Palace versus Liverpool, away at Villa Park. And I'm going to go on a little bit at this point because I've got a couple of stories to tell you. First of all, the Villa Park away after the game, of course, it was absolute pandemonium up there. Jubilation. Palace had just beaten the Scouts following earlier in the season when we lost 9-0. It just shouldn't have happened. It wasn't in the script. Very Palace-like, okay? We rewrote the script the Palace way, as we always do. And we come outside the stadium, and I'm not a great fan of Liverpool at all. In fact, some could argue that I'm quite animated against them. I certainly don't want them to win the league this season. But I was walking down outside the ground, and a couple of these Scouts guys came up to us, and instead of wanting to punch you in the mouth and all the rest of it, come up to us and shook my hand and said, "Enjoy your day at Wembley. Enjoy your day at Wembley. Enjoy your day at Wembley." No trouble, no nastiness. And I thought to myself, now that's what football's about. That, to me, is what football is all about. So that's one story from Villa Park, and it goes along with my favourite game as well, which we'll come on to, I'm sure. But the other story about Villa Park, going back many, many, many years, my wife and I have been married for 25 years, and we were courting. We were going out. In the old style, we were going out. And she said to me one day, "How do you fancy going out for a day out?" Okay, I said, "Fine." She said, "Philpott Park, Chesterton, something like that." And it's a warm day. So we get in the car, and we go around the M25 and heard on the old style Capital Radio, "Oh, don't go anywhere near Chesterton Zoo. It's packed. Don't go anywhere near Philpott Park. Oh, it's murderous out there. Stay up." 118 miles later, we pulled up outside Villa Park again, and we ended up going to see Palace versus Villa in some league game at Villa Park. She went berserk. So that was our romantic day out. We ended up at Villa Park seeing Palace versus Villa away at Villa Park. Just another stupid story from the Philpott archives.
So, I mean, it seems in Philpott's life, all roads lead to Villa Park then.
I've actually, again, I'll give you one more. Cold February night. One more. Cold February night. She said, "Right, we're going out for a meal with some friends." We never got there. This is absolutely, what's the opposite end to the whole end? The away end. I don't know what it's called. But whatever it's called, we're sitting there. And we're like this, just me and the missus. We're sitting there like this. And most of the away end is covered, just. Okay, the front two rows are not covered. And then it started snowing. I tell you now, it was the quietest journey ever on the way home. She didn't speak a bloody word to me on the way back. But there you go.
And it's taken her 15 years to forgive you, I've no doubt.
Sadly, she's made up for it ever since, though.
Oh, bless her. She's obviously a saint. I'll give her that. Right, so moving on. Next question. Who is the greatest player of your generation? The greatest Palace player of your generation, and why?
Right. Again, probably two for slightly varying reasons. And I'll give you the first one of Ian Wright, okay, for how prolific he was in front of goal. Again, using the wife as the analogy, we've recently moved in together when he was obviously playing for us. We recently moved in together, and we were actually living with friends at the time, with another couple. And Sarah got out of bed, gone down to have breakfast with the other couple, and I was followed them down. And Sarah said to me after I explained what I'm about to explain to you, she said, "I honestly thought somebody had died in your family." I came downstairs and she said, "Nick, what on earth is the matter?" I said, "I can't believe it. We've just sold Ian Wright for £2.4 million to Arsenal." She said, "Is that it? Is that it?" She said, "I honestly thought somebody had died." So for the sheer prolificness, if you like, of how effective he was, from where he came from, he started at 24. Was it Dulwich Ham that we got him from? On a shoestring, got it from nothing.
10 MB, wasn't it? God, no, Greenwich Borough, I think it might have been.
Greenwich Borough, maybe, wherever it was. And a local lad, okay, who, whatever Palace fans think about Ian Wright, okay, still, you could tell that, yes, he's got a massive affiliation with Arsenal and he loves his Arsenal, and I don't begrudge him that. Okay, forget the badge kissing thing scenario. That was a mistake, and he apologised for it. But he was a local lad done good. Okay, so I'm not going to do the boring Will Zaha analogy, which a lot of people do. I'm going to give you Ian Wright. That's my first one. My second one, however, if you want technical ability, technical skills, absolute. He was just the custard on top of the cake. Has to be Attilio Lombardo as a player. What was that bloke doing, pulling on a Crystal Palace shirt? He should never have been at Crystal Palace. He should never. He was God in my eyes in those days, playing for Italy. He was just. If you watch him on the ball, his vision, his knowledge, his technical ability. To this day, there weren't that many players in my mind. You could forget Palace players for many clubs that could actually grace a football pitch like Attilio Lombardo, the bald eagle.
I completely agree, and I, for those of you who haven't seen it yet, I think that's probably the answer I give, because I agree with you, Nick. What he was doing at a crummy rundown training ground at just in Old Colshorton or wherever it was, Old Coulsdon. What he must have thought with Ron Node's arm over his shoulder, and then behind him is some decrepit tea hut that some biddies like serving cups of teas on saucers. And at the time he was probably one of the top 10, top 15 players in the world. He was still an Italy international, and then you just think, wow, what a coup that was. But yes, no, I completely agree. So, okay, we've done your favourite player, but if we move on logically, who would your favourite ever Crystal Palace manager be?
Oh, difficult one. I suppose on the first stint with the team of the 80s would have to be Terry Venables, okay? However, I can't give you Terry Venables as my answer, simply because on his second
time... Is he hiding somewhere?
It is because of when he came back to Palace, okay? He left, let's put it this way, he left Crystal Palace with a large bulging wedge in his pocket, okay? And I don't think he did any favours. Incidentally, where is he in Terry Venables these days?
I think that's what I was alluding to. I don't know where he is, but I
think he's on a Caribbean island with all that money, actually, if I'm honest.
Yeah, well, so exactly. You could probably afford one.
I'm not going to give you Terry Venables as an answer, although he should be the answer because of the team of the 80s and what he built up. I could give you Malcolm Allison, the fedora, the charisma and everything that comes with it, but I'm not going to give you Malcolm Allison either. I'm actually going to give you Steve Coppell, just because it's Sir God. Was it 4 times manager for Palace? Whenever we need him, again, he's a local man. I run into him, and I still run into him fairly regularly. I know he's working in India up until very recently. In
Coulsdon, a bus route if you're going to India.
I've actually run into Steve Coppell in the last 18 months in Coulsdon High Street, and I often just say hello to him, and I just think, he's the most shy, introverted, unassuming gentleman you'd ever like to live. But again, tactical nous on a football pitch. If he had a whole team of rubbish players, and invariably he did, okay, he would know how to get the best out of them. What's their best ability? So the answer to the question will undoubtedly at the moment be Steve Coppell.
Again, I cannot fault you for your choice there. I would just love to think that there is still a place for him at the club, maybe behind the scenes, maybe to assist a certain Mr. Friedman as director of football with regards to actually making some good signings, or maybe even heading a scouting network. How good would that be? But I think that's a great choice, mate. And
I would actually go further than that. Actually, you say that a place for him in the club. There's a place in our Palace history for Steve Coppell, whatever happens with the club going forward. But should the main stand ever get built, don't give me Will Zaha stand. Don't give me Malcolm Allison stand. Give me the Coppell stand any day, because that's how highly I rate him. He's now a local man, although obviously he played for Man United, but he was a gifted manager, and I think a wasted manager in a lot of ways, Ian. He should be still in the game. I understand, last time I heard he was out in India coaching. Well, he's better than that. He's much better than that.
Couldn't agree more, mate. Couldn't agree more. I noticed behind you, you've got a couple of kits. So the next question falls very nicely into that very vein. So what is your favourite ever Crystal Palace kit?
Again, I can't give you one, can I? Because I've got too much history. I'm too long in the tooth.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Let's stop. You need to understand, when I ask you your favourite ever, you can't, look, stop giving me 2, 3, 4. You've got to make a choice.
Okay, at the end of this conversation, I'll have made that choice. Okay, so it's not this one. Okay, so this is from a couple of seasons ago with Manbeck's. Okay, but I'm going back to the 1979 team of the 80s. Your Vince Allaire, your Dave Sudowers, Paul Hinshaw-Wood. Okay, the original sash shirt, this is not what it is. Okay, but the original sash shirt, to me, that epitomises red and blue. The original sash shirt. Whenever you hear of the word red and blue sash on a Crystal Palace shirt, the first thing you think of is Vince Allaire. I'm sorry, but it's Vince Allaire. So that would be my normal answer. However, because I knew that you were going to ask me this question, this one here is the Tulip Computers. Right? Don't ask me the year because I can't help you, but I still wear this to Selhurst Park even now. It's the one with the green trim. Okay, Tulip Computers, the old style badge, of course. I'm going to give you my answer very simply, and I don't know what year it is. Maybe somebody out there can tell us what year it is. It's baggy, it's shaggy, it's worn, it's embroidered in there. You can't see it there, but all the eagles are embroidered in the shirt. Okay, I have my number one pick is the Tulip Computers Brazil shirt. That is my answer. I love it.
Okay, well, thank you for that. That's not a choice we've had today, but that's good. It's good to have variety. Moving on, what are your thoughts on the current first team squad?
Oh, again, it's stuff that we've alluded to on the show. Scott Dan signed a new contract this week. Okay, that actually makes things worse from what I'm about to say. We have a first team squad, probably the best first team squad in my 40 odd years of supporting Palace. However, what we have here is now some serious issues, contractual issues going into next year. It is going to be, bear in mind, money's tight, okay, especially in the current climate, money's going to be even tighter. We have a squad that doesn't just need tweaking next season, it actually needs complete obliteration next season. Even if we manage to keep Zaha, okay, even if we manage to keep Guaita in goal, we have a squad of players that I believe it's 6, 7, might even be 8 players out of contract next season who are, it's going to be a turmoil. If they are not planning for the future now, okay, in all this lockdown and quiet time, they are going to be, you heard it from me first, that next year could be the year, if they don't get it right, where Palace could be in real trouble because they have got some serious carving up to do. The current squad of players, like I said, is the best squad of players we've got. However, like the team of the 80s, we could never keep them together. We could never keep them together. The most important factor of all of this, of course, is it is an ageing squad. It is the oldest average age in the Premier League today. Okay, half of which are out of contract or going to be out of contract. So you are seeing the early days of what will be a massive shift change in the changing room at Selhurst Park. Okay, it's got to be, because we can't keep plodding on with the same players year in, year out that are all 30 plus. It just physically can't. And if we do, okay, and we try to extend all their contracts, which is why I alluded to the Scott Dan signing, is a little bit worrying, although I believe he earned that contract earlier in the season. Okay, it's like Speroni did in his last year. He got an extended contract as a thank you from the chairman. Scott Dan has just done the same. I think he's just done the same. He's just earned himself the right for another contract. I believe if we keep doing that with the rest of the squad or with the rest of the aging squad, we could find ourselves in 18 months' time in a real dogfight relegation battle, because it's an elderly squad.
Okay, well, I mean, it's almost as if we've planned this. I mean, who would have thought that? So with that thought in mind, if you were chairman, list me 3 things that you would change and why.
Well, I've just given you the first one quite simply. Okay. you would definitely start planning earlier. I wouldn't leave it till next season. And I'm talking about this summer, and we know there's no money around. You have got to start either developing the academy better and bringing through the players like Peric and into the first team squad and getting them more and more involved, and anybody else, Jason Liquido or whoever else is fringe. You've got to start bringing them in. You've got to start blooding these youngsters. Okay. Number 2 would be sort out the aging squad itself. Okay. Contract wise. Okay. Make the decision now. Who's going to get that? Who's going to get the big hook? Okay. And then out of those 7 or 8 players, there'll be 3 or 4 of those that will be given the big hook. Okay. Make that decision early. Okay. And start making succession planning for it now. And I'm going to give you something. Complete left field that you're not expecting here. I'd sort out the Arthurwaite stand. To me, in my mind, it's an absolute embarrassment. Forget the build on the new stand, okay? I'm in my 50s now. It probably won't happen in my lifetime, if I'm honest. Not unless we get a major investment from somebody else. Work with what you got. Work with what you got. We are a physical embarrassment in the Premier League. To every single away fan that steps foot in Sellers Park, we are a laughing stock. You can't get a beer. You can't go to the toilet. Okay, the place smells. The ladies' toilets are a disgrace. Okay, we've got champagne taste. Okay, on a lemonade budget, and that's what the Arthurwaite is. And I'm sorry, you've got to get the infrastructure right before you can take it forward. And the infrastructure in the Arthurwaite is not right.
Very forceful and forthright views there from a certain Mr. Philpott. Okay, in the home straight now, mate. If you could go back in time and change the outcome of a match, what match would it be and why?
I can't give you the different one. I don't know who else has done these little interviews, but I'm sure there's 20 people that you've interviewed that are going to give you the same answer as I am. And you know what it's going to be. I freaking hate Mark Clattenburg. Okay, FA Cup final. Okay, Connor's through. Okay, Connor is through on goal. He didn't deserve to be pulled it back. Okay, he put the ball away cleanly. We had our name on the FA Cup, and it's that vision. It's that vision with Clattenburg and Ferguson in the tunnel before the game. And I've watched it a million times, and I can't see the bulge in his pocket where Ferguson has just given him that brown envelope. I've tried looking for it. I can't see it. It just makes me want to vomit as a Palace fan. I can't bear. Do you know what? To this day, I have not watched the FA Cup final back, and I was there. Of course, I was there. Okay, I have not watched that game back. I've seen the goals. I've seen the Connor Wickham incident. Okay. Jason's goal was sublime, beautiful. Okay, Punch's goal was fantastic. But that was our game. That was the one thing in my Palace supporting career I regret is that we haven't won a major trophy. I was at Wembley when Martin Keown got beaten up. Okay, in the ZDS Cup final when we won our only piece of silverware. People could argue that was even a major piece of silverware. Not in my mind. I'm sorry, but not in my mind. The FA Cup, Carling Cup, or League Cup, or whatever you want to call it, and a championship. But so ZDS Trophy does not count. So that's my only. If we were to win a trophy of some sort, Ian, okay, before I die, then I will die. I'm a happy man anyway, I think, but an extremely happy man.
I'm just laughing at the thought of you being a happy man. Right, final question, and then I'll bid you goodbye. If you didn't support Palace, who would you support and why?
What's football? Sorry, your question doesn't compute. Okay, if I didn't support Palace, I've been asked this many times actually. We've got Wimbledon locally, we've got Fulham local, QPR local. We've got the Clown, whatever they're called. Yeah, even around here, I've got Sutton United, very good team. Whiteleaf, very close. I would not be interested in football. There is nobody else. Since I started watching football, Crystal Palace. You know, you hear these Brighton fans who've got Brighton and Liverpool, Brighton and Man United, and Brighton and Chelsea. Okay, no. Okay,
Well, I think with most Brighton fans, to be fair, Brighton's their second team.
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. Well, there is no such thing. Okay, in my mind, there is no such thing. You're not gonna. If Crystal Palace folded tomorrow, well, that's a better way of asking the question. If Palace folded tomorrow, okay, and went out of existence, who would you follow? Okay, I wouldn't. I'll tell you who it would be. The Surrey County Cricket Club.
And on that note,
you cut that off. It's red and blue.
Excellent, and that is the right answer, of course, unlike the one I gave. Right, Nick, thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it.
I've loved every minute of it. Thank you for having me on.
Good, you're more than welcome. And don't forget, if you'd like to be on the show, just get in contact with us and we'll try and set something up. Until next time, we'll see you later.